无量寿福. Hello everyone, this is your favorite uncle, 把树道士, Uncle 8, and I thought I would begin a series of simple audio encouragements. Many people approach Taoism, especially in the West, either interested in the martial art aspect, the Dao Yin or Qigong, and especially sometimes the magic. However, cultivation of grand harmony is at the core and the importance of Daojia. So, in this brief talk, I want to talk about personal relationships with individuals. And this can be a romantic relationship between husband and wife, or husband, wife, spouses. This also can be applied to personal relationships with one another, and not just friends, but the individuals that we meet in daily life. And let us begin with the image of the Taijitu, the symbol that everyone knows, the symbol of yin and yang, the black and the white. And something that's very, very important to notice is that inside yin, there is a small dot of yang, and in yang, a small dot of yin. And this is very important. And as we progress in this short talk, you will see how this is important. But in order to have personal relations, to cultivate grand harmony in any type of personal relationship, you have to have true respect for who the other individual is, what they hold important to them. And oftentimes, this is not the same that may be important to you. And what I mean by this is, you don't simply say, oh, I respect your point of view, but, and then you interject your point of view trying to disprove them. Oftentimes, people argue, unnecessarily so. In this day and age, we in the West are bombarded by counterpoints. And some people would say, well, then that is a perfect example of yin and yang. But it is not. It is a flawed concept, because in order to truly represent the yin and yang, to truly have balance and grand harmony, you remember, as I said, there is a dot of yang in yin and a dot of yin in yang. You have to be open to have that other part. So when you are engaging in any kind of personal relationship, you have to have a space for others' views, others' beliefs within your heart. Your heart should be like the yin and yang symbol. Even if it is just one dot, and that dot is true understanding and true mercy and tolerance. You have to look inside yourself and see why it is that you can't love enough or receive enough love from others. You must complement one another. It's one of the things that when human beings come together in any sort of relationship, we are attracted oftentimes to the things that are similar with ourselves and the other individual. However, oftentimes we find after some time the things that we originally were attracted to begin to repulse us. And we have to look inside ourselves. Because if you are always finding faults in others, if you are always argumentative with others, this is truly something that is a problem with ourselves, not with the other individual. And oftentimes we like to, you can't blame others and say, oh, well, this person made me this way, or this person made me. No, you have to look inside, and you have to truly be kind and compassionate. This does not mean you must agree with everything people that you meet. This comes up oftentimes when people speak of religion or politics. In the West, there are the topics of conversation that traditionally they say you should not talk about these things. But that is not necessarily true. I think talking about these things are wonderful, but what we have forgotten to do is learn how to discuss things compassionately, tolerantly with one another, not trying to dominate the other person, not try to enslave them with your viewpoints and your ideas. And truly be joyful, to have joy in your life. And the only way to have joy is to cultivate harmony and balance. And if you have joy, you have to share that joy with yourself first, and then the world and society at large. You have to ask yourself, why can't you do that if you are unable to have personal relationships that last or that are fulfilling? And you have to look inward in meditation and balance yourself. And this is why we have not just the practice of Daoyin, Qigong, meditation. It is not only for the body, but it is part of the whole, the homeostasis of mind, body, and spirit. And balancing mind, body, and spirit is extremely important. So when you have the mind, body, and spirit, and you are cultivating grand harmony, then if you're balanced, you will radiate love, compassion, mercy, tolerance. You will be able to understand someone who has a completely opposing viewpoint from yours without becoming angry and resorting to name calling or any other type of negative reaction. And when you radiate grand harmony, people then become attracted to you. You have to be a companion to one another. But you should not worry about what the other person does. This is something we have to deal with ourselves and look inward, as I said. We are the ones that are responsible for cultivating ourselves, not others. Not pointing fingers at others because they lack this, that, or the other, when in reality it is we who lack this, that, and the other. If we were only to look deep within inside and let go of our egos. Share life with one another, with your spouse, with your friends. Share the beauty of life. Taoism is one of the only practices, the only religions that teaches the meaning of life is to be happy. The meaning of life is to enjoy this life. And in order to enjoy this life truly, you have to be not only healthy of mind and body, but you have to be able to share the beauty of this life. And as I said before, don't try to dominate other people. And we have a tendency to try to dominate one another. when you try to dominate someone, the one of the most distinct and singularly special thing about the human spirit is that we all long for freedom. This is why slavery of one type or another, enslaving a people or a race or something of this nature, is very wrong under heaven and earth. So just like you cannot cage, and you should not cage someone physically, you cannot cage the human spirit, nor should you try to. Husbands and wives, spouses, should not try to dominate one another. They should indeed complement one another. Yin inside yang, yang inside yin, balanced. The same thing with friendships, or dating relationships, or business relationships, any type of relationship where two human beings are coming together. So you cannot cage the human spirit, because it will long to be free. Because ultimately we are all free. So when we look at personal relationships, let the symbol of yin and yang, the tai chi tu, remember to be yin inside yang, yang inside yin. In this way, through our own personal cultivation, our own meditations, our own practice of recitation of the incantations, mantras, the practice of internal alchemy, we can better ourselves, live a more fulfilled and happy life, be peaceful, tranquil, loving, calm, merciful people. It is difficult, but it is something that we must try to do to live a better life and to have better relationships with one another. This has been your favorite uncle, Uncle 8, 把书道士, with just a moment of meditation.